I've had a couple of requests from people to do a video on principal interest loans versus interest only, and what's my thoughts on them. Okay, principal interest loan is when you're paying off some of the principal, paying off that loan, and interest only is when the loan will remain the same throughout and never go down. Look, paying off the principal, it does have a place, especially on your principal place of residence. You can pay it down and one day pay it off. Well, that's what you could do back in the day. I'm strongly against that now, and I have a couple of reasons why. Going back 30 years ago, you could be on a minimum wage and you could pay off a house in 10 or 15 years quite easily. Now, the housing prices have went up so much and the wages haven't went up to reflect that. So a house can be, if you want to live near the city, can be 10 times as much as you're earning, could even be more. In Sydney, it's 15 times as much as you're earning. So if you are wanting to work in a job and your house is 10 times more than what you earn, you're going to struggle paying that off in 25, 30 years, probably even 40 years. Okay, that's not to say you can't, but your lifestyle is going to suffer something dramatically. You know, you're not going to be able to go on the long holidays. You're not going to be able to do any of that throughout your entire life. It's going to suffer. So years ago you could do it. I'm totally against it now. So then people get scared of holding the same debt for a period of time and it not going down. But they forget that if they've bought the right property, their house is going to go up in value. So what do you do then? Do you pay it off or do you go interest only? Well, the way I look at it is, and many people look at this as well, is you're better off not paying off your loan, using the money that's the extra money that you would be using, put that in another account and save for another deposit, buy another house, because you're leveraging someone else's money, you're leveraging the bank's money. You can buy a house for 5 or 10 or 15 or 20% down. So all of a sudden you're using that extra little bit of money that you were going to be using to pay off a house, which is only going to change your repayments by very little. But you could use that to buy as a deposit and then leverage the bank's money to buy a house, which is going to go up if you've done your research, and then in several years you can replicate that. But you can then sell off those properties if you wanted to, and then pay off your principal place of residence quicker. It'll work 100% of the time. It'll work faster than just paying it off with your paycheck. It's almost it was an Australian dream to do that, but it's so difficult to do that now that you have to look at other sources. You have to leverage other people's money. You've got to leverage the bank's money, and the quickest way to pay off a loan is to get yourself into more debt and leverage the bank's money and buy as many as you can. Wait for the market to do its thing, or manufacture some money into that by renovations, by subdivisions, by development, and then pay down your loan in chunks. You will do that. You can do that in, you could pay a house off if you're committed like that in 5 or 10 years opposed to 30 years. And people, it still gets drummed in us today, because people, that's what it used to be. You used to be able to do that. You could be on a minimum wage and pay off a house in 5, 10 years with your paycheck. You can't do that now. So food for thought is, I know the banks are cracking down. They don't want people to have interest-only loans, because I think a lot of people realise that now. So there's a lot more interest-only loans. They're harder to get, but they're still available, and it's just another way to approach it.